It was amazing, and the pain went away immediately.
It just feels so much better. I can do jumping jacks, I can jump around.
I've tried everything, but this is the one thing that makes me feel good when I'm done.
The iMRS is a device that is part of a world of therapies called pulse magnetic field therapy. When I first heard about pulse magnetic field therapy, I said, yeah, right, I don't believe it. So I learned about this magnetic mat and pad and this magnetic probe, and I'm going, I'm not really buying into that. It took 3 months, finally, to get me convinced enough to actually go ahead and use this. We started out testing this on patients, using it, and then using it more. And I've seen it work to the point where we now have not just 1 unit, not 2 units, we have 3 units in our clinic, probably we'll add a 4th. I've seen it work on so many people. It's changed so many lives.
When Dr. Carmichael said, I've got a new treatment for fibromyalgia, I thought, yeah, sure, another one of those. So he said, let me try you. He said, I'll give you 16 minutes and you tell me what you think. And after 16 minutes, I got up and I felt like, you know, kind of relaxed and like I had a massage. And when he said that the machines were available for purchase, I jumped at the chance. I told him, I want one.
One of the really exciting things about this is that while it is rocket science, it's not rocket science. This is something that's so simple to use that people can use it in their home. And they do so. They try this, they decide, hey, I've got to have one of those. They learn how to use it, they take it home, and they can use it every day.
I couldn't wait till I got my machine, and I use it every day. When I get any pain anywhere, this morning I had neck pain. I used it on my neck and then went all the way down my back. And I had a knot up in my neck and my shoulder, and I used the probe on that. I released that. My hip had been bothering me really bad. I'd been limping. And the treatment has released the knots in my hip, and I'm able to walk like a normal person.
The neat thing about the iMRS 2000 is it's got 3 applicators. You can do magnetic resonance therapy, which we use the mat for. We can also do local applications of pulse magnetic field therapy. That's what we use the pad for. And then we also use a probe. The probe is powerful and very localizing. So for sinuses, for TMJ problems, for headaches along the back of the skull, for targeted tissues in the shoulder and in the hip, and things like that, we can use the probe.
It was about 1.5 years ago, I pulled my soleus calf muscle, and I got diagnosed with compartment syndrome. The option for that is, you know, you lose your leg or surgery.
Sonia has what's called compartment syndrome. The standard medical approach to that is try everything, try medicine, try physical therapy. In this case, she tried good chiropractic care with rehabilitation here. Nothing worked.
That's when I found Dr. Carmichael. He said, hey, you know, why don't we try this magnetic bed thing? He wasn't quite sure about it at the time. He's like, let's just do it 3 times a week for 3 weeks and just see what happens. And so I started, and sure enough, everything's, you know, my calf just started healing and started feeling much better. If it wasn't for the iMRS, right now I'd be home with my leg up, healing from the surgery. So I wouldn't be doing anything right now.
In medical school, chiropractic college, osteopathic school, we learn all about chemistry, biochemistry, organic chemistry, and its chemicals. And that's the main intervention that allopathic medicine or normal medical care has to offer us. When we have cells that are not functioning properly, we signal the cell with a chemical to try to stimulate it to function properly. We know from quantum physics and quantum mechanics that the human body is chemical, but the chemicals are made up of molecules. The molecules are made up of atoms. The atoms are made up of electrons, protons, neutrons, and subatomic particles. That means that the human body, even more fundamentally than being chemical, is energetic. The entire ground is covered completely with concrete or bricks or whatever. People live on the 5th story of their apartment building, and then they go to work on the 12th story of an office building and stay in a cubicle, and they're surrounded by computers and electrical wires all day. And what they don't get is they don't get the electromagnetic power of the Earth. They don't get the Earth's field. You need 3 things for cellular combustion. Number 1 is fuel, number 2 is oxygen, and number 3 is ignition. That ignition is electromagnetic energy.
About 6 years ago, I started having issues with my ankles, right when I started playing soccer.
At the tender age of 12, she was thinking about quitting soccer because she'd come in and she'd take her cleat off and she'd just present her foot and ankle and said, "This hurts. Can you help?"
She's had chronic pain for a lot of years in her ankles, and no matter what we've done, you know, it's just been a short-term solution to the problem.
I've tried not running, not playing any sports, not doing anything at all, not walking long distances, and I've done physical therapy 3 different times, and then all the exercises that go with physical therapy that they said would help strengthen it, and didn't do anything, and then wearing the walking boot twice for 3 weeks, getting different orthotics, anti-inflammatory medicines and pain medications that I had absolutely no response to at all. After trying all of the different treatments, I didn't really expect anything else to work. I was just willing to accept the fact that nothing was going to work.
We discovered the iMRS 2000, and we started using that in our clinic, and Angela was a perfect candidate for this. The probe, applied 3 or 4 times to Angela, produced such an amazing result that all of her pain was gone, and it hasn't returned. She's now playing soccer, pain-free. She can stand at her part-time job 4, 5, 6 hours, no pain.
When it actually started working, I was pretty surprised because, you know, you don't really think that just sitting there with something that they say is doing magnetic waves into your leg, you don't feel anything, so it doesn't seem like it's actually going to work at all. When the MRS was actually working, it was just a miracle for me that something actually finally worked after going through the pain for 6 years. It just was amazing, the results that I had. The pain went away immediately.
What did we do here? What was lacking? We did everything, and yet we could not effect the change that Angela needed to be pain-free. Well, what she was obviously lacking was a normal amount of electromagnetic resonance in the cells. Simply by restoring that, we were able to restore the cells to normal function. All the pain went away.
I want to be able to play sports with my friends and be a 16-year-old teenager because I want to be able to run around and have fun and do whatever I want without having to worry about being in pain all the time.
What all these cases have in common, especially with regard to the quality of life, is that they got their life back. You had the case of Nancy, where getting out of bed was sometimes the biggest chore of all. The biggest thing in the day is like, hey, can I even make it to the bathroom and brush my teeth? Fibromyalgia has effects that way, very, very fatiguing. And of course, her brain function. To get that back was the most precious possession that Nancy had. Now, if you're a teenager like Angela, and you can't hang out, or if everybody's running up and down a field throwing the frisbee and laughing and having fun, and you're just waving from the sidelines, you're not engaged with the group. That has a little pain associated with it that's beyond even the physical. To see Angela be able to re-engage in her life fully without even thinking about pain, that's the way it's supposed to be. And then with Sonia, in a case of her work, being able to get back there, get out in front of classes and teach, and to be able to just enjoy relating with her clientele. In all those cases, it's re-engaging in what matters most, and that is getting back into your environment, getting back interacting with the human beings that you're interacting with. And it's been fun.